Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 71, Lamar. It wants blood.
Yes.
Well, you chose this movie. I'll let you describe it.
Here's the thing. Let's do a little background. So it's from the director, I want to say his name right, James Balsamo.
James Balsamo.
And it is from his production company, Acid Bath Productions. This movie just came out Friday, and it has a very interesting political tone.
Yeah.
Combined with breasts, well, not just breasts, just flat out naked women.
Yeah.
Monsters and Eric Roberts.
Eric Roberts.
Yeah, boy.
It's become a theme in a lot of movies lately for us.
Yes, he's in a lot of stuff. So,
Yeah.
But he's actually the main character in this movie.
He is.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I mean, we'll talk about the movie, but Eric Roberts, even when he's making these kinds of B movies and stuff, he still brings that presence. He's still always on.
Mm-hmm.
He's not really one of those B movie guys that's like just kind of phoning it in.
No.
He does look like he's enjoying himself, and he brings that presence. So I always like it when he's in the movies, you know?
He still brings the A game. Yes.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. He was in the same location
Yeah.
bringing his A game. So,
yeah,
it is.
Well, it seems like they have to cater to him. You know, we'll keep you in one location. You won't have to do too much, but he does bring it.
Yes.
I mean, so basically he plays a character called Dusang. And it's him and another guy running for senator.
His official name, the character name is Bruno Bastien III, but I would like to consider him the Asian Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
That's very interesting for this character. He's Southern, but he looks Asian. I think he's Asian. So
But,
you have them going head to head.
Continue.
Eric Roberts. This is where it gets crazy.
Yeah.
And I have overthoughts. So, Eric Roberts' character, who wants to stay in power, he wants to stay the senator. So he goes to Africa. And he gets the power of, what was the name of the...
It doesn't even matter. A creature.
It was a creature from Africa. And he has to sacrifice, one of his children. And in return, this monster, I guess, would bring him great prosperity. But the monster must feed on people. It wants blood. So, and that's pretty much the movie, combined with the other character, Bastien. He has his own monster, head monsters. And in the middle is Phil Blunt. Yes.
Which is the director, James Balsamo. He plays the character.
He plays the character, and he studies the opposition and finds out secrets. And so he's in the middle of this.
He's just in the middle.
Yes.
With naked women.
We
figured out your hustle.
He is literally a chick magnet.
Yeah.
He has sex with every woman. Well, not every woman. He appears to get every woman naked that he comes into contact with. So, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's basically the rundown. A bunch of stuff happens. The monsters effects, by the way, monsters effects from our friend Joe Castro.
Shout out to Joe. Yes.
And there was a good sequence where it was like stop motion, like miniatures of the monsters. They did a battle. I enjoyed that. I wish there was more of that. There wasn't enough of that. I love all that kind of crazy shit, Some of the production stuff, we got to say, it was, kind of put together quickly, I'll say. For me, as an audio guy, audio was killing me a little bit on this movie.
Oh,
so,
man. As I was watching, and we've talked about this, as I was watching it, I was like, oh, Joe, just watching this and just like, ugh.
I could give it a pass because of, on these types of movies, I can give it a pass. As long as everything else is there. the funny stuff, and this movie delivered on the blood and the boobs. It had some funny moments as well. My big critique of this is it was too long for what it was.
Okay.
I felt it should have been like a half an hour shorter for this type of movie. It was too long, I thought, for what it was.
Okay.
So
that's understandable, because it kind of goes from like, it has like that weird sequence where it's just like, Eric Roberts, Beast, boobs, and it just yeah.
But you said you had some overthoughts on this movie. I want to hear those.
Joe,
this is my favorite part.
We're going back to the political scheming, because I feel like this movie is talking about the farce that is politics.
Yeah.
Let me explain. So, both candidates, because they have the whole, like, what is it called? Muckraking and everything like that. They have those things. Why should you vote for this guy? You shouldn't vote for this guy. But both of the political candidates have monsters that go against each other.
Yeah.
They're two sides of the same coin. And so they're basically both bad. So the monsters represent that.
Yeah.
Now, wrestling, which, by the way, was with two naked women.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the women thing, because I think that's in my overthoughts. That's a symbol of something. So, wrestling, I'm not going to go, way more about wrestling. It's a lot of characters. It's a lot of like stuff behind the scenes where it's like you have to make the villain, you have to do all this. That was represented by the wrestling. That was symbolism. Okay. Bam, right there. So it was symbolism, and the women who were both naked represent that it's basically it doesn't matter. It's just entertainment and everything like that. So it's not about like really who wins. It's about the show.
Okay.
Women. So
there's more.
There's more.
Let's hear it.
This represents, because both of the candidates are what? Males. And well, they're not really, screwing around or anything like that. But I think the women represent, a lot of allegations that these guys have about their infidelities to their wives and everything like that, and bad behavior. Some of them are even like caught with like prostitutes and stuff like that. So the women running around naked represents the exploitation of women in the political sphere. Now, I know I'm on it. I'm on it. Exploitation of Black culture, because Eric Roberts goes to Africa to get this beast. That is the representation that some feel of the exploitation of the Black community, of the political sphere, on both sides, because it's basically they're appealing to the minority, people of color. So that is just getting their political game. But he doesn't listen. I won't spoil the movie. He doesn't listen to the Africans when they tell him about the beast and stuff like that. So things happen, and that represents Black people not getting what they want from these politicians, even though they go out to vote for them.
Right.
There's more, Joe. And
do tell, sir.
This is up here. Church. The church. The exploitation of the church. You have a preacher in this movie, and one of the candidates is very close to a preacher. That represents the use of religion to control people by the political sphere. It's done all the time. They go to churches, even though there's supposed to be a separation of church and state. That represents that the political world does not follow that rule. So, boom, and just the preacher was at the naked wrestling event. So there you go. And that's it. That's what this movie is about. This movie is about the farce of the political agendas of both sides, and we have to pay attention to them, even though this movie distracted us with Eric Roberts, beasts, and naked women.
Yeah, it did. So what you're saying is this James Balsamo is like the Stanley Kubrick of B movies. It's full of messages and all of that.
He's up here with it.
There
He's
you
up
go.
here with it. See, he throws the breast, Eric Roberts, in the blood, but do you see and hear his message?
Okay, well there you go. I'll buy some of that. I'll buy it, Lamar.
It's my overthoughts. You know how I get.
Well, what
Hmm
would you rate it then?
I'd give this a 4. It was a
4.
little long, but it's a B movie for what it was. It was enjoyable. There was funny parts in it. Eric Roberts is always he'll do some crazy shit.
Yeah,
So I'll give it a 4. Check it out. Yeah.
cool. For
Yep.
me, I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5. I did
Okay.
enjoy it. It was just a little long for me for this
hmm
type of movie and the audio. But other than that, it was solid. It was fun.
Yes.
It is what it is. So it was fun.
hmm
Yeah. All right then. Well, that wraps this one up. It wants blood. Peace.
It wants blood, Eric Roberts, and breasts. That
It
should be the
does.
sequel. Yes.
You want that, or the creature wants that?
Well, I think the creator wants that, as
Oh,
we have seen in the
I
movie.
thought you
So,
said you want that.
whoa, that's another discussion.
All righty then. Peace.
Deuces.